And you also want young people to look at education in a sense of seeing benefits of it. And if you have teachers who are struggling to just pay their bills and who are, what kind of role model when they can go out there and they see other role models of people who hardly have any, I mean, who don't have education, but they might have more money. You know, so why should I really listen to you as a teacher when you walk around here barely making a living?
Every summer I teach in San Francisco, and every summer for the last 7 or 8 years, and every summer I'm offered a job there, as I was last summer. And I could make an instant $7,000 more if I were to take the job.
I'm, a divorced mother. Myself and my children are largely dependent upon my salary. The last 4 years, when I first came to Oakland, I felt very comfortable with my salary. Over the last 4 years, I felt this 12% of a devaluation of my salary. It's really been, I felt that, coming to the end of the month and really feeling squeezed, having small emergencies happen and not being able to meet those, costs. So yeah, this strike hurts me. It hurts me financially. And, but, when I understand why it hurts, you have to kind of weigh it. Like, when can you stand up and say, I need more respect. I need just compensation.
The main issue is class size, because here in Oakland, in order to provide students with the skills that they need, we have to have smaller classes.
I think every time I sit with a teacher and consult, every time I'm on a student study team, the issue comes up where, won't this child just be better off in a smaller class, and you can say that about every child. Every child would benefit from being in a smaller class. I can tell you that, without a doubt, that is what I think would make a difference.
Teachers we're not on an assembly line filling cans of tomatoes. 31 children, it's nearly impossible. I mean, people send children to private schools, I'm convinced, not because the teachers are any better, but the class sizes are smaller. I mean, there's a reason for that. Oakland has much better teachers than I've seen in most private schools. So it's not the teachers, it's the conditions.
One does ask a question, if class size were addressed at the elementary and junior high levels, would it affect the senior high schools later in terms of the abilities, the preparedness, the skill levels of our students? So it's not directly an issue, but it does affect the students that we later see. It's true. Many senior high school teachers, maybe not here at Castlemont, but there are other senior high schools where class size is an issue. And when we're talking about, the solidarity of a union, I mean, these are principles that bind us together.
I was reading a report recently that said something about there's an assistant superintendent for high schools and there's a director for high schools. I mean, it seems rather redundant to have two separate people, each of whom probably make about $70,000 to $80,000. Assistant superintendent for high schools and director of high schools. I mean, it's unbelievable levels and levels of administration, and that money could be spent on more useful things like class size reduction and salary increases to keep teachers here in Oakland. And that's pretty much what I'm fighting for, that restructuring of the resources. There's only so much money, and a lot of it is wasted here in Oakland. Doesn't have to be.
Oakland Unified School District, that's the only language that they seem to understand, is to go out on strike. And it's really, I mean, a shame we have to do that when supposedly our superintendent and the district, they care about the students, they care about how they are being taught. And just, it shows they don't care. Because it should never have gotten to the point where we have to go out on strike, and that is the last resort. And we tried everything else. In meetings, I think we had some like 48 meetings all before the strike. We had house meetings. We met with our business people. We demonstrated outside. We did everything so we wouldn't have to go on a strike. But I guess they don't understand our language or something.
When it comes down to ultimately to a strike action, it really doesn't have, it has less to do with the contractual issues. It has less to do with the district. It has less to do with your personal feelings about the union. It has most to do about your fellow teachers and working with your fellow teachers toward a goal, toward a significant goal. And the cost of dividing a staff, I think, overrides any feelings that you may have of doubt or insecurity or anxiety, because it's only through united action that you will feel yourself empowered and the site will feel themselves empowered and together. And the cost of dividing a staff, I feel, is personally is way beyond going in and saving a one day's pay.
I don't agree with everything that's proposed by OEA, because some of the things I really don't have enough knowledge about to make an assessment of the entire process. But on the other hand, of the process I'm speaking about, it takes all of us, as we all know, to help educate a child. And the things that we need to do is we need to be together on not only the educational issue, but also as colleagues. If we work together, we'll be able to get things completed and done.
One thing that we are becoming more and more conscious of as substitute teachers is that we are educational professionals and that we are in this together with the regular teachers. And we really are all in this together. And we are going to fully support the regular teachers, and we know that the regular teachers are going to fully support us.
You know, if you ask individual psychologists, they may not be able to agree on the issues, but the thing that they really feel that is important is that they're out there and they're supporting everybody, and they're part of this, and I think a lot of them want to see changes happen, and I think that's why they're out there.
I'm striking for number one, for the raise, number two, for the other factors that are involved with the movement of the salary, the reconfiguration of the salary scale, because there's more than just two issues on the table right now. And whatever it is that all of the teachers are out for, I'm part of the OEA. I am the OEA. So if the OEA is out there on the line, I am that, and I need to be there.
Personally, you know, my position is that I understand that I have health care and dental care, you know, what little I have, 10 days sick leave and personal leave and a certain kind of salary and steps because somebody else sacrificed before me. I understand that, and I think that all of us, if we really sit down and think about it, we have to admit that. I mean, none of this was given to us. We came into it because somebody else struck and sacrificed. And there's no way you can deny that. Now, you can rationalize why you don't want to sacrifice, and that's fine. Just say that.
My mom is what they call a drill press operator. It's factory, it's blue collar, all that kind of thing. And I don't remember the particulars of her situation, but she was injured. And the company was contesting her claim. And the union came to her rescue and won it for her. I mean, and she had always, I mean, my mom was not a radical, but she understood enough about the history of this nation and the development of unions, why they developed, why they were important. And I think that when the union came to her aid and prevailed, that showed her just how important it was to be a part of this body. it's critical that teachers become active in the union. I think it's bogus to complain about an institution that you don't make any effort to learn about and be an active member of. I mean, a union should be alive, and the only way it's really alive and effective and representative is if its membership is active in it. And but yeah, it's bogus. If you don't like what the union's doing, then you should have your behind down here.
I believe that the people who run this district, the administrators, are very pragmatic. I think they've had to be to get to where they're at, and I think that they will respond to the pressure that will be brought on them by the citizens of Oakland. I feel that the teachers are a catalyst in this. And we're a catalyst to make lower class size happen, and also we're a catalyst in getting our salary increase. But it is the parents and the citizens of Oakland, the members of the community, who are going to cause this to happen.
And it seems that the district is gradually giving in by kind of like successive approximations. It's kind of frustrating sometimes, but I see like this inching forward, you know, percentage-wise and class size numbers-wise, and it just seems to be going in our direction.
Again, just historically, if we look at, you know, people struggling for an 8-hour workday, or people struggling for the fact that children under the age of 16 shouldn't work anywhere. I mean, there was a time when people would say, oh, that's ridiculous. You know, you'll never get that. Or that, you know, civil rights, that, you know, black people can sit on the front of the bus. Oh, that'll never happen. So, I mean, if you're convinced that what you're struggling for is right, then there's no reason for you to feel that. There's no possibility of you changing the situation. If teachers are convinced that we are not being justly respected in this district at this time, then there's no reason for us to feel that we can't change that.